Ghanaians who use cannabis are being thrown into jail.
It is hell to be in Ghana prison.
Scattered in Ghana's 44 prisons. They are treated as criminals.
Arrange them.
Because of Ghana's punitive drug laws, which do not consider the health and human rights of those affected by these substances.
As a me gendi se wi na nyame dia no mo gumeso ene panai no ma gumeso no ma butu me.
The lack of proper classification of Ghana's prisons has led to cannabis users sharing the same cells with hardened criminals. Some have died.
Mami Teresa was committed narcotic offenses. Ofrimu ya.
Families have been torn apart.
Me kuna kwa kutonwi. Ami ejele ni 10 years for Central Prison Kumasi.
Why am I mami?
And all this is happening in a country that is signatory to international drug control conventions that recommend that problematic users are treated and rehabilitated.
If somebody is addicted to cannabis, or for that matter any other drug, then jail is not his place.
The Narcotics Drugs Control, Enforcement and Sanctions Law 1990, PNDC Law 236, was promulgated at a time Ghana had not embraced multi-party democracy. The law prescribes stiffer and harsher jail terms for those who possess and use cannabis.
It's a judge in the
10 years.
How many years were you given?
3 years.
Sinitrasi opportunity no say anka obema me 7 years. Na wa consider me to obema me 5 years.
Abla wadi mo ko court no. Na piem no say. Wa ma ton winti. Mama me 10 years.
Inti judge no. Oma how many years?
Me 10 years.
10 years.
5 years.
Inmates share emotional testimonies on how they were dragged into prison by Ghana's draconian drug law.
Namakoto amede kofi me yusu ewo bla me ye adwuma enti obi a ohu me se makoto no na wo yi police ni bia wonim na sutre na obehia me okwan so adwuma no eye adwuma titru blog ni twa no eye adwuma den enti eno na ayese ye de shaase a na ye de ye adwuma no enti se enka ho a ya na adwuma no ye no ho akentre no enko nanim enti eno ana ye de bata me ho a na me de ye adwuma se me ye adwuma na breba na me kotena se na menom kakra na me saba Obi adwuma no de meye no meye akomanim. Ba bi ni me nchen a se blend ba menya adwuma ne bio. Nipa bi adwene bia obadwen se me koya de we ti me normal de we de akoya de we. Wo adwene wadwene. Na se wote hwa na wo se manumu wi ti no meye say de ye kan sa me hu ne sa because pilibra me hu sa de no my life mo no. Ma adwene nkire me se manumu wi na me nko wi obi ade ana manumu wi na me ne obi anya semunti me ntwe se kan ko no so da bi de menim ne se madwuma meye enti ena ma sa ade ne ban me enti ebla meye adwuma no ena me ma sa ade ne ban me o me kogina o no bisa me se me wo asem foforo bi beka ana se me statement a me defili police station bae no ena magina so na me ka kire ne se me ni asem foforo bi a meka onjina me statement a me de bae na so endi ma asem no to si ne trase opportunity no no se anka obema me 7 years na wa consider me to obema me 5 years
o ye den ofia
Bacho, we case na dimba.
We case.
Bacho.
Ade eba ne say na we case do ba ha say.
Nti na me nema bi adwuma. Ke bo ahye wa manase. Na o se mfa ni phone bi na embesi charge man. Nti ya na me so me fa bebe omton e kope ba ko bi ayden. Ya na me de adwuma. Manye bi an hwesa no a. Ase adwuma de ni nti no. Ene ya wo ne yi no. Ya na ha adwuma. Nti bebe a Gano oton no aye garden kakra bi wo ho. O so ben sie nti me kwaji no ofie na se me fa se ne me private na se ti me wi a na se nka apedi ndi na se nka makoto e maduma so na che se unfortunately me no wa sa me man se boys no omo no ma no de ye tutrasem na yi wo town ho nti o kofa police ni ba ko wa aguna nti nka o ba be bo spy na se ko mahu se be ya omde mlanten no e ko omde mlanten be faso na che se me ho no me dem ho kote timi kwa nka mawie dina ka piece bi na twa ma no nti me hye me ni ka na me hu se obi ayere be ayi na prima no nti me ko ya na se assembly man ne police no che ifi atare na se dia sa gra na se e kopi o fere commander no omde ka be fa me yere e ko agora timi ko du e na obusa me se me difo ana se me dibem na me se me difo na owe se de na me ka kire court na me pa court na cho se minye biem na ompambo ne yede encheme na je nye se this is my first time tino nko ifiase afi baako
me share na me da ho a revelation no me share system nyama na e koso ni se na system no ti a e ma me to me e de ye enwum enya na easy by any time I me feel say me tro enwom bi no me share me to me enya words a me de e form adwane enwom ya o ya ba o ya ba music I love to do music I love to play reggae music I play Koma from Africa a black man music I play reggae.
It was the season of cannabis that I went to pick them and feed it to my fowls. I traveled to Afram Plains. It was there I found that it is good for fowls. People have been using it for them. It heals them whenever they take in the seeds. The second advantage is that they breed fast and more. My judge or my lord was asking me the warrant which shows that it is good for fowls or any poultry. I should bring the warrant that was submitted by the veterinary officer. That particular day I couldn't walk as a man walks. I was broken into pieces because I know I'm going to die. If you are arrested, your wife, your children, your father, mother, your everything is arrested.
Cannabis is a plant that you need the whole full spectrum. Every compound in it helps in healing. You can't isolate just one compound out of over 200 compounds in a plant and say that is the only medicine. No, we've had over 95% success rate, which no chemical medicine can ever get. From end-stage cancers, brain tumors, diabetes, hypertension, prostate cancers, 100% gone. Stage 4 metastasized bone cancer to the liver and then kidney, they are all alive. Epilepsy, we have autistic children speaking for the first time in their life now. Pain, insomnia, that's why the pharmaceutical companies frown on cannabis so much.
Those who sell for a living are also not spared. John is physically challenged. With no means of support, he decides to peddle cannabis, unaware the law has no pity for people like him.
My children were all tapu. 212. Nam to be cocoa. No, I did see a horn answer. Won't you know? The Mamma Moby, no one take. Not just a war, men crown will craft no other curry. No, we did be by it. But if you are, I'm what? I mean, don't you what about an answer? Now, if I kill me or Johnny, there were good water. Oh, yeah. No one here.
We are asthma patient.
Papa.
Asthma how?
Papa. They are not doing the woman. Yes, I had dinner, mammy.
Abra wadi mo ko court no na piem no ose wa ma aton winti o mama me 10 years na obi a oboton wi a wo be chi ni bia o ko 10 years bi wo ha me di to eliana na me da ma wona me de kakra me di na di na ma ada kakra na me de mama nkwala no me de ma won a kakra me so me di no na me de efisa nkwala no na wo munhia me.
I was once a prison officer, but circumstances brought me here. I was given 13 years.
And what was your charge?
Possession of narcotic substances. When I came here, those prisoners who were at Ankafo before, they know me. Some shed tears, some came out to give me encouragement.
How was it like being given the day you were told that you had been given 13 years in prison? How did you feel?
Since I joined the prison service, that was the first time I wept.
That was the first time you wept?
Yes.
You wept like a baby?
More than a baby. By then my wife was in the crowd with my 1 year, 2 months baby.
Women who have become problematic users are also not spared by the law.
If I try me the Bemachiko rebate for your smoke and to the me brass and or metro 1 girl 1 boy. Ajua sewa na Ramsey kwasi sapho. Baby a me wo bia me da so dwen me ho me dom nso. Te mo mpa ma me. Na me pia me ntotom ase.
Young people are incarcerated for just having a joint. They are incarcerated, they get criminal record. Our prisons are full. We find that the big fish really swim away. We think that the war should be against the barons, not against somebody who is caught with a little bit of something for recreational use. What we also find is there are people truly who are addicted who need help. But so long as we have this criminal element, they cannot ask for help. Because if you admit that you need help under the current law, it means that you have to be locked up because it's a crime.
It's very important that government fast-track the Narcotics Commission bill because drug use in our current law criminalizes people who are engaged in minor non-violent drug offenses. If a young man is caught smoking, let's say 1 joint of cannabis, that's marijuana, that means you go to jail for more than 5 years. This able young man, let's even say that he's a university graduate, is going to spend like 5 years. That is if he meets a judge who is conservative. He can go to jail for like 5 years. It will mean that this young man's future is completely destroyed because you have given him a criminal record. That criminal record is like a tag on him for the rest of his life. That will mean that if this young man is going to look for a job, like we do every day, you have to go for criminal clearance. If an employer should see you with this kind of criminal record, it will mean that you can never get any job from any employer.
The time to decriminalize marijuana is now. Somebody smokes a joint, he goes to jail, wasting up in jail. You are spending money to keep the person in jail when you should have known that you call it a drug, so it must have been a drug addiction.
International drug control conventions obligate state parties to take practical measures for the early identification, treatment, education, aftercare, rehabilitation, and social reintegration of persons involved, instead of sending them to jail. But Ghana appears to have failed in this regard because of persistent adherence to its punitive and draconian drug laws, which emphasize on criminalization of drug use.
Mene 15 years. We friend Mami Sewa. We go school in Yasa Pinka. Me jina JHS one. And I'm saying papa koda prison tea. Mami yes come from Mami go school. A terrible a me textbook ni me sika e beji no school mo. Terrible na ho ayedi. Ti a me down go school.
Ye friend me e free Lina. Me din fie du mo china. Go school obusonche or you community senior high. Me form to by a name some problems here. Me papa de prison. Me to me go school ni be me home economics student. And I'm near my metotone. Textbooks ni ska me di bedi dinti. Me to me go school ni be.
Me kuna kwa kutonwi. Ami ajele ni 10 years or Central Prison Kumasi. Me nene woba. Me babo ane kura de me hodi akula ne kura wonam. Me no nso e ka me ho kura na ba ko JHS ba ko nso SS me nyes kana do mako e tola bi kwada bi kura se me nkon mu aduremu tola bi apa wo pa na medie ko fa nkrofo ne ma na ayeka e haw ni atete ni akoda na sika ne meni na emom nkura school fees ni atete ababa bedame so.
Tinuwa is one of the many problematic users in Ghana who has been in and out of prison. Her mother has struggled for help for her only daughter to quit her addiction.
Mama Junjin Bibi san kwara ne fem kyese kwara be man kwara do so ya so wa fene maame no oti hodin bi a no oti ni so esa na me so atoma dwendwen bebre sana fi mi yare na pressure ne koso na mi yare
tana ya chemi maame no ko school a ntimi nsuade kana na fufu ni bi sere mi ko henu prison wa ya na mi su
nsi a moi me pesa mo de boa me ne se mo me nko hospital bi se be ya ye be hwe se bibi sa bio eni mi mojema na bipie nya makono mpo se me di bibi sa be kama no na asisi anso me hia so obaboa me se be ya menya adwuma bia ya a me mfa ahokyere enkodi obi achi ma ne mfa me nko saati bia ne mu bio na mo bi so na me wura saati bia ne.
Why is it that when people contract diseases like malaria, diarrhea, cholera, you send them to the hospital? But when somebody is addicted, listen, addiction is sickness, it's a health issue. Why arrest such a person in jail?
Dr. Question say, yes, right there at the hospital, psychiatric hospital, says that it's a health condition and these are people who need all our care. If you see somebody smoking, if you see somebody who is addicted to drugs, it's like somebody suffering from malaria. It's like somebody suffering from diabetes. He needs the care of a doctor. In prison, which doctor is there?
The Mental Health Authority is required by law to provide support for problematic users, but it says it does not have the resources.
We are trying to see how we can collaborate with the prison's officials so that we can have a special team to be going there on routine basis. But for now, the resources have not made it possible for us to do that. Addiction actually is a disease condition. It's a disease of the brain. And as a feature of the disease, he goes for more cannabis to feed that behavior. So what such a person requires is treatment. So he should be treated. He should be treated at the hospital. It could be at the psychiatric hospital or at the drug rehabilitation center. Or if for whatever reason there is a good reason for him to be in jail, then there should be a treatment facility within jail for him to be treated. Otherwise, you just put him in jail, the chance that he will get some more drugs to use in jail, he'll come out of jail, be more addicted, more hardened. So really, jail is not where he belongs. And that's why we've been talking about decriminalization of addiction or addictive behavior.
The Christian community shares a similar view.
For addiction, I do not think imprisonment is the best way to take care of people who are addicted, because addiction is a disease, and every disease must be treated in a health facility, not in prison. So if the person happens to be addicted, then the best thing we should do, or we can do, is to send them for treatment into rehab centers, detox centers, where they will help them to get off the drug. That would be the best. It's got a lot of health benefits. That's why in most countries these days, they are decriminalizing cannabis. So prison is not a solution. The solution for addiction is a health facility.
The Muslim community does not also believe criminalizing drug use is the way to go.
People go to prison because of addiction to marijuana. There are others too who go to prison when they've never tasted marijuana, but by the time they come out of prison, they become addicted to marijuana. This is therefore to tell us that it's not a deterrent to want to imprison people who are addicted to marijuana. Imprisonment has not been able to stop it. People are in prison here and there. If you go to a prison, you'll find so many people they've been in prison for marijuana. It's in the prisons that they take it even more. They take it freely. And they are not the only ones in the prison. They are able to indoctrinate others. They get disciples and get them also to start taking marijuana. So that at the end of the day, in prison is not forever. At a point you will have to come out. So by the time that person who has been imprisoned for marijuana addiction, by the time he comes out with 5, 6, 10 disciples. We've only succeeded in increasing the number of marijuana addicts by sending one marijuana addict to prison.
I think it boils down to the lack of education. People smoke cannabis, yes, but if you become addicted, what is the best approach to deal with the person's problem? Is it when you arrest the person and incarcerate that you deal with the problem? No. The evidence shows that even those who are incarcerated, they tend to smoke even more upon their release. Even whilst in prison, they try hard because they are addicted, they are sick. Even whilst in prison, they try to find ways of getting the substance to smoke, even whilst in prison. The very reason that landed them in prisons, whilst there, they still have the feeling to continue to smoke. So it's clear that the arrest and prosecution of drug addicts is not the way to go.
The mere incarceration does not bring a solution. Research has shown us that it's rather harmful to keep them in incarceration because we need to use alternative methods and mechanisms to address why they turn addicts. And this can help us reduce a lot of the rather high cost in maintaining them in prison, in putting security men after them. All these should be re-looked at. We need to craft a policy that will be seen as a pure addict, which is a disease, and for that matter, a public health matter. And this conversation must begin. We should look at it dispassionately.
If the objective of imprisonment is to ensure the reformation and rehabilitation of prisoners, as captured in the core functions of the Ghana Prison Service NRCD 46 of 1972, how come those imprisoned because of addiction are predisposed to conditions that defeat the reason for their imprisonment?
It's not easy for the inmates to come and tell that I'm addicted to cannabis or cocaine or any other substance. There might be times people who smuggle cannabis in, but that is not like you having it every day. It's an offense which is in our laws, whether it is done by an officer, a visitor, an inmate himself who goes out to work. So they know. And smuggling it in, once there's security at all times, it's not easy. Sometimes the system is beaten to it, I must confess. The difficulty is we not having all the gadgets to detect what system comes in. And sometimes people throwing the thing overboard. Other times people ingesting it and giving it out.
We need to find medical ways and means of attending to them. Just as we attend to HIV patients, we attend to ordinary malaria patients, we attend to people who are suffering from various ailments. It's the same thing we have to do. If it is a moral issue, we attend to it morally. If it's a medical issue, we attend to it with medical solutions. If it is physical, then you attend to it with physical solutions. But as far as prison is concerned, particularly for marijuana addicts, it's not the right place. It's not reformatory to send marijuana addicts to prison. No, I don't believe in that.
I have a lot of pity for addicts generally, not just addicts to cannabis. Any kind of addiction is a very, very difficult ailment to treat. If you take 100 addicts, maybe 90% of them would die out of the addiction. only 10% have a slim chance of overcoming their addiction or kicking their addiction. It's not easy to kick the addiction. I don't think jail is the best place for the addicts.
Addicts should be treated. They should not be punished. For example, somebody who goes to steal with a clear mind and is given 5 years. I go and indulge in alcohol and my mood changes and I do something wrong. I shouldn't be punished. It means I have a problem with the substance. So if I had my way, we will separate those who are addicted and have them treated in special facilities than giving them punishment as in a sentence in a law court. Somebody is mad on the streets. Why do we have a psychiatric hospital for them? It's because we think it's a special case. In much the same way, those who are addicted, it's a special case. For me, if I had my way, they should be treated, they should be considered as patients and treated and not punished, as in giving them definite terms of imprisonment.
We need to see them as an ailment. HIV/AIDS is an ailment. You just imagine somebody has HIV/AIDS and you throw him to prison. That once we throw you to prison, by the time you come out, you'll be reformed, and then you will not have HIV anymore. It is there, it is in your system, and it remains there. If you throw somebody into prison for having taken for marijuana addiction, and you are not able to really treat him, get into his blood system and detoxify him, let him continue in that condition in prison for 100 years, he is still with him and he will come out with it.
We need to pass the narcotic bill.
I will urge them on to, as fast as possible, decriminalize marijuana addiction.
It is very important that Parliament takes this bill seriously, ensure that it is passed into a law to ensure that at least we can address most of the fundamental flaws with the current law around drug use.
You take this person into a prison and you expect that by punitive measures the person is going to get cured. It doesn't ring a good bell. So we have to look at it in a civilized discourse, civilized society. The rhetoric has to turn around. Our parliament has to be more proactive than what we are seeing right now.
Is Ghana's parliament dragging its feet in the passage of the Narcotics Control Commission bill?
I don't think that parliament is feet dragging. I actually moved the motion for the second reading and our views haven't changed. The only unfortunate thing is that we just couldn't pass this because of the workload in 2016. But government is a continuum, remember? And so it is our expectation that this government would take up this matter very seriously. And when the bill is reintroduced before the House, we're definitely going to put all hands on deck to ensure that this bill is passed. Look, at the level of the UNODC, that has been the thinking. These are modern trends. Ghana doesn't live in isolation. The laws on narcotics in this country, with the greatest respect, I must say, are too draconian. Somebody is found, smoking 1 roll of weed, and when caught, you incarcerate the person for 5 years, 10 years, if in some cases. Come on, let's get serious. At the same time, we are the very people complaining about congestion in our prisons. Those people could simply be rehabilitated. And once they get rehabilitated, they will not go back to those ways, the ways of smoking, etc. It comes with its own health hazards. So we have to help the unfortunate ones.
The bill is before Parliament, and Parliament is working on the bill as we speak. This will serve as a brief history of the journey on the current Narcotics Commission Bill 2019. And I believe Parliament will do a good job for Mother Ghana.
I'm particularly excited that my country, Ghana, is taking steps to review its drug law, which has been in operation for over 29 years. I'm referring to PNDC Law 236. Of course, since that time, there's so much that has happened in the world. I think knowledge about how to manage the area is much clearer. What is difficult has been to try to get a meeting of minds for many reasons. But certainly there's a lot more known which should drive the work to, as it were, redo the bill and make sure we have something which is more relevant to our times and which will take into account all the knowledge and experience which will make it possible for us to really have a situation where we overcome whatever menace we see in the area of drugs. What we are quite sure of is what has been done in the past has not worked. And this is why the world has come together to, as it were, find what will make it work. And Ghana is right there, and I'm very happy about the courage of the government to really take a second look at this area and bring out something which will be more relevant to our times.
Ya ya oh, ya ba, ya ya oh, ya ba. Music I love to do, music I love to play. Reggae music I play, Coma from Africa. A black man music I play. Reggae, reggae, ya ya oh, ya ba, ya ya oh, ya ba. Music I love to do, music I love to play. Reggae music I play, Coma from Africa. A black man music I play. Reggae, reggae,